Namaste everyone, and welcome to the Anchor Light Part 2 for Friday. I know if you're in Europe or the rest of the world, it's already Saturday. Anyway, so Friday, as you know, is Healing Day, and this morning we did emotional healing for releasing guilt. If you haven't had a chance to do it, make sure you do so, because a lot of it is connected to also tonight's session. And a big part of it is guilt is related to mistakes we've made. Guilt could be related to perception of mistakes we've made. And that's a big part of it, perception. Oftentimes that perception could be distorted because somebody fed it to us. Or because of certain circumstances that happen in our life, we made certain conclusion that could be absolutely wrong or not true. Okay, so just want to put that in proper perspective, because oftentimes, we don't see that everything in the world is relative and depends on where you're at. Sometimes you see stuff in your dreams, or somebody tell you, oh, a psychic told you this or told you that, and you based your entire perception of life and reality on those things. And that's why it's very, very important to really understand what we're dealing with. Okay? Number one, the soul is evolving, whether you like it or not. That evolution involves a certain time for that evolutionary process, and there is a process, and it will require, yes, it does, mistakes. Mistakes are basically course corrections. Okay? Now, just as a tiny bit of review from this morning, these course corrections, or mistakes, if you will, are a way for us to realize, okay, this approach is not good, let's take another approach. That doesn't work, let's take another approach. And that comes from two sources. One, from our teachers. Basically, when you read books, you take classes, you have a friend who has gone through a negative experience, they tell you, by the way, if this happens to you, do this or don't do that. So the smart person will say, okay, I learned it from his mistake, so I don't have to go through the pain of the mistake. Make sense? That's why you have to look at it that way. They screwed up, so I don't have to. But simple as that. That's the purpose of a teacher. So we basically benefit from the teacher's mistakes and say, okay, on the spiritual path, do this, don't do that. Make sense? So that's one way. The other way, for some of us who are really thick-skulled and say, no, I want to be enlightened by myself, do it myself. So we learn it through life experiences. Translation, ouch. Pain. Pain is a good teacher because we experience it enough times, you go, okay, you win. I'm not going to fight it. So it's a person who's smart that says, instead of going through that pain myself, why don't I just learn what the teachers tell me? That way I learn from their pain and their mistakes, so I don't have to go through the pain. I get the benefit without the pain. Make sense? But some people, a little thick-skulled, I'm one of them for the longest time. That's why I remember my teacher used to tell me, he said, I must be a very patient teacher to have you as a disciple. I remember he told me that, and I'm going, is that a compliment or is that an insult? I still can't figure out to this day. But I do realize a few times he got so tired of me being not listening. I got scolded so many times, I got bumps on top of my bumps. It's like, I'm surprised he even kept me as a student, because I screwed up a bunch of times. So anyway, I'm still here because I realized there's something there. There's that something there. And finally, one day, it dawned on me. I go, yeah, why am I doing this the hard way? And then that's when he told all of us in class, follow simple instruction. If you cannot follow simple instruction, how are you going to follow complex ones? I thought about it. Makes sense. Makes sense. You with me so far? So I'm sharing that with you just as a backdrop, that this morning we talk about guilt. Guilt is, we cannot let it go. It's like a ball and chain. We make mistakes. We don't understand it for what it is. It continues to eat you up. But if you say, everybody make mistakes. Who I am today is a sum total of all my screw-ups and what I've learned from them and the ones I'm still learning from. Okay, so the key here to be smart is to limit the mistakes. Make it smaller, but you can't get away from it. And then the most important part is, what lesson did I learn from it? Okay? Anyway, we'll talk about it this morning. Look at the video this morning. It's an earlier one where we went through the disintegration, the screen technique on how to disintegrate it. And most of you who joined us said, yeah, I started noticing I don't feel it anymore. But there are layers, so make sure you do that. Okay? Now, it's connected to tonight's topic, which is also connected to why a lot of people work so hard to be successful. They want to be prosperous, but somehow either it doesn't take off, or when things are doing well, they do stupid things to sabotage the project. All of us have been there. I'm saying us because I've been there too. And unless you have that awareness of it's going on, you're an autopilot. Right? This topic we've done before. We've done this prosperity healing many, many times. And the reason we keep repeating it is because, number one, our audience getting bigger every week. So there are always new people who haven't done it. And a lot of you have done it before. Well, you need a new excavation. Because a few of you have said that, yeah, you know, things are going well. I feel very focused. I feel very, determined to be successful. And finally, when it's taking off, this little guilt come up. Remember, that's why I said it's connected. This little guilt comes up like, well, am I still going to be a spiritual person when this project becomes successful? Am I still a spiritual person when I'm not suffering? I think that triggered some of you, right? Because I cannot tell you how many times, and this is my 30-some years of teaching this already, and I cannot tell you how many times I've met students. Good, loving heart, really want to serve people, right? And somehow they equate suffering to spirituality. If they're not suffering somehow, they don't have any challenges in their life, they're not spiritual. So when finances are doing well, everything's doing well, you know, that stupid thing happens inside of them that says, maybe I'm not a spiritual person because life is doing well. I know some of you might think it's ridiculous, but if I ask if I survey most of you, I'd say about 70-80% of you will say, yeah, that did cross my mind that, you know, things are doing so smoothly. When will the other shoe fall, right? And, you know, that maybe I'm not very spiritual anymore because there's no pain. There's nothing I'm fighting against. I'm not fighting against the devil. I'm not doing this and that. Now you know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of us go through it. So if you don't first realize that, hey, this is not real. It's something we fabricated. It's something that the soul created. Guess what? It starts to brew in the background. And then when things are finally taking off, then these little thoughts come in and you start noticing that, yeah, you lost interest in the project. Or, you know, instead of, okay, you're going to work this much to make this much money or to make this project successful, you start noticing conflicts internally. You start thinking, well, you know, but if I do that, then I'm not a spiritual person. Or am I really still a good person if I'm making a profit? You know, some stuff just pop out of nowhere. Now you guys want to talk about. These are little seeds that are inside your chakras and your aura. You put it all together, that's what you call poverty consciousness. Make sense? Most people think poverty consciousness is like, oh yeah, you know, you'd rather have nothing to eat or nothing to wear and you're down in the slums. No. Most people, when you say poverty consciousness, it's subconscious. It's not on the surface. It only pops up when it's triggered. Then it just keeps building inside. And the key here is, and that's why we're doing this for you, is a lot of you have good intentions. You really want to help a lot of people. You want to help your family. You want to do all these great spiritual projects that you want to help and transform the world. The only problem is, every time things are picking up, what happens? Crash and burn. Or it's like, oh, I want to start a non-profit organization to feed hungry people. So you're all excited, you're planning it, and finally things are taking off, and you have people volunteering, and before you know it, there's now internal arguments, fights. And you think about it, you step back, you go, yeah, I noticed that this is my baby. I have to control it. Even though somebody else has a good idea. You know, little stuff that you don't think of come to the surface. It's because deep down we say, if this succeeds, maybe I'm not a good person anymore. Some of you might think that's not real, but watch out, because it's something like this. The reason it's called a seed, because it's very small inside. It's just a passing thought. But you have to realize, as the chakra gets bigger, you see, okay, just make it real for you. Okay, go like this. All right, you ready? I normally do this in person in the class, but anyway, you guys are all very receptive, I hope. So imagine you're looking at your own back. Your basic chakra is like a flower sticking out of your butt, like that. Okay, to put it plainly. Now, of course, some of you are new and say, yeah, but I thought it's in the middle of the body. It's not in the middle of the body. Just imagine this is your body. In the middle, there's this pipeline. Okay, this pipeline like this. From that pipeline, you have energy centers coming up the front, the back, front, back. So you have energy centers in the front and the back. Clear? And you have more than 7 chakras. So the ones who are new, study further. All right. Anyway, so the basic chakra is facing backwards, and you can always feel or learn to scan its energy level. Okay? Now, these chakras, just to kind of, I know some of you are new and you haven't taken any of our classes yet, but I want to make sure that you have a little context of what we're doing. It's a simple rule. Our behavior affects the condition of the chakras. In other words, if you're happy, your heart chakra expands. When you're angry, the heart chakra shrinks. Okay? When you're spiritual, you're meditating, you're chanting, you're doing spiritual work, I know this is general term, your crown chakra gets bigger. That's why some of you, when your crown chakra is very active, you start doing this. You notice that? When you're meditating, it's like, what the heck? I find myself swaying. And then after you start doing this like this for a few minutes, then you start doing this. Okay? Unless you understand about energy, you think you're either crazy or you're slain by the spirit. It's very simple. Your behavior affects your chakras. So when you start doing spiritual things or spiritual endeavors, your crown chakra starts spinning very quickly. More spiritual energy comes down, and that crown chakra spins so quickly, right? Very, very quickly in both directions. The predominant spin of the chakras, they go in both directions. For some of you are new. Then you start following it. You're not doing it intentionally. Your body just kind of being moved by the energy. Yeah. And then some of you start doing this. Right? And for many people, as they go up, the eyelids start to flutter. Flutter? Yeah, flutter, something like that. Because when you start moving, when there's so much energy pouring down, the next chakra to the crown, the forehead, the real third eye, not this one in between. If you know only of 7 chakras, then you think it's this guy. No, the real third eye is up here, closer to the hairline. Okay? So when this gets so activated with energy, as the energy pours down front and back, this energy center lights up. And as more energy is generated, the chakra spins faster. You imagine the energy going this way. That's why it partially pushes your head back. And you start noticing your eyes start to flutter, your eyelids start to flutter. Anyway, you learn this in panic psychotherapy. If this is your chakra, behind it, it's like a filter. Like an energetic mesh. That's what you call a protective web. So what happens, that is like the eyelid for your chakra. That's the eyelid for your third eye. So that's why some of you, when you start doing this, some of you start seeing visions. Now, if you're stuck with the 7 chakras, you'll never understand that part. Because it's not here. It's up here. That's why when you're visualizing, you never visualize like this. You visualize like this. So this one is connected to these. Okay? Just to kind of give you an idea. So the condition of your chakra, a condition of your behavior, your behavior affects the condition of your chakras, and vice versa. So let's use the heart as an example. When you're feeling lots of love and happy, the heart chakra expands. And since your heart chakra is big, it's easier to be loving. Make sense? So there's that correspondence. It goes in both directions. Now, the basic chakra, which is the chakra we're talking about today, is the same thing. When that basic chakra is healthy and strong, that person has a tendency to be grounded, make good financial decisions. What else? Attract good luck financially, and also productive. The opposite is also true. When a person's lazy, or you don't feel like doing anything, or you procrastinate, that chakra shrinks. So when that chakra is big because you're prosperity thinking, then it's easier to build on that momentum to be more prosperity thinking. For the lack of better terms, I'm running out of terms here. Make sense? Now, same thing. If the chakra shrinks, then that person has more lack of self-esteem, no drive to succeed, and doesn't feel worthy to be successful. So when they have those thoughts, this chakra shrinks. And when the chakra is small, then it's easier to keep drowning in those negative thoughts. And it takes more energy to stretch it open to change the person's thinking. Are we communicating here? So the key here is the energy. Now, what are we trying to do with this Anchor to Light meditation and the other programs we have? It's because I can sit here and explain everything to you over and over again, bore you to death, and even quote 1,000 different verses from all different holy books. If that chakra doesn't expand, not much happens. You get my point? Haven't you noticed, some of you? You make affirmations. Yeah, you feel it at that time. And after you finish being excited, after chanting, it's like, okay, I feel good. And if you don't do it again, what happens? The energy drops again. That's because when you do those affirmations of that, you're forcing the chakra. Remember your behavior. I'm prosperous, I'm this. And the chakras go. But if you don't get rid of the crap that's inside, once you stop stimulating with your affirmation visualization, what happens? Then you do it again. If you know what I'm talking about, raise your hand. You know, all of us have been there, right? So the question is, what if we pull everything out first? Okay? Without any affirmations, without like, I'm this, I'm rich, without any of that. Let's just shovel the crap out of it. Let's see what happens. Okay? Now, there's several ways of doing it. Tonight, we'll do both. There's the screen technique that we used this morning. That's also part of the deep emotional healing and the prosperity zen, where we go really in depth. Each one of them we do 7 times or 7 days in a row. I mean, you get cleaned out, you get cleaned out. We don't call it cleansing, we call it excavation. Okay? Now, listen. So here's what we'll do. You ready? So visualize like you're looking at your own back. Press the center of your palms. This is to help stimulate it, okay? Rub your hands together. Now, don't just sit there. Participate. You looking at it go, yeah, that sounds interesting. It's not going to change anything. That crap is still going to be in your butt. Sorry, basic chakra. Ready? Okay, visualize yourself in front of you. Like you're looking at your back. There's a flower coming out. You don't have to visualize the flower. Just put your hand like this. Bring your hands out. Say, my basic chakra. Or just say, my prosperity center. So what you're doing is you're trying to feel, like from afar. I know on Instagram you probably can't see. It's too narrow. You separate your hands, then slowly come in until you feel almost like something pushing your hands. Okay? Like yeah. All right? You just have your salt water close by. Don't worry. If you're new, don't know what we're talking about, the salt water is our waste disposal unit, as my teacher called it. But energetic waste disposal unit. It's a salt water bucket next to you. All right, ready? Do it again. Say, my prosperity center. All right. Now, I want you to think or recall some of the poverty consciousness thoughts that you've had in the past or going through. Like, yeah, everybody deserves to be more prosperous and everybody wins something except me. Or something like whatever that goes to, because all of you are different. Okay? Or something like, yeah, I keep getting passed over for a promotion because for whatever reason it's not happening. Pick something that has to do with money. Okay? The salt water is next to you. What else? Think about another one, like I never have enough money. Or for some reason, other people always having more money than I am. It could be anything. Okay, done? It doesn't take much, does it? All right, put your hand like this. Slowly come in, say my basic center or my basic chakra, my prosperity chakra. What happens? You notice it's shrunk, right? Some of you go, yeah, I feel it out here. Now it's kind of small. Okay, here's the good news. You ready? Okay. Just put your hand like this. We actually teach this in the class, but I'm oversimplifying for you. Cup your hand like this. Imagine your hands are wrapped in violet light. Just imagine your hands have a glowing violet light around it. Okay, this is like oversimplified pranic psychotherapy. Imagine your hands are like surgeons, but instead of gloves, you have violet light. Very, very bright violet light. And if you don't have salt water next to you, visualize a violet fire. Okay, go like this. Now, simple question. If there's mud on the wall and you don't have a hose, what do? You scrape it and throw it, right? That's exactly what it is. Don't make it any more complicated. So imagine your violet light. Just say my basic chakra. Or just say my prosperity center. Now use that violet light. Just go in with intention. Scrape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Scrape it out. Okay, before you throw in the salt water violet fire, go like this. Anybody feel a slight heaviness? Like some, ooh, what is that? Okay, look for your salt water or violet fire, throw it in. Again, visualize your basic chakra. Do your best, just say my basic chakra. Any poverty consciousness energies. Scrape it out. Just scrape, scrape, scrape. Literally like you're scraping, like old paint off a wall. Just go like this. Now, if you're the visualizing type, imagine that your violet light is removing all these gray clouds. All these gray clouds are actually thought forms inside your basic chakra. Go in, pull it out. Okay, try to weigh it. Throw it in the salt water. Keep going. Any poverty consciousness thoughts in my basic chakra. As you say it, you tune into it. Scrape it out. Don't just watch. Move your hand. Throw. One more time. Use the violet light. Okay, pull it out. Throw it in salt water. Now, I hope you have a sprayer. This is basically lavender oil with with alcohol. Now, if you don't have any, just go like this. Just use violet light. Clean both hands. Throw in the salt water. Now, when we're done, go to your sink. Just get some fine salt. Salt. Just clean like that. Okay. All right. That was probably like 7 or 8 times. We just cleaned, right? Okay. Check your hand in salt water. Okay. Separate your hands. Say it again. My prosperity chakra or my basic chakra. You remember, you had a baseline of what it was before. Then when I had you think of those negative thoughts, negative emotions about money, you notice it shrunk. Now, I didn't tell you not to think of them. All we did was go in and, right? We just cleaned. How's the size now? Anybody notice? It's a little bigger, right? It's bigger. So the question is, how could your chakra increase in size by taking stuff out? I thought in order to make something bigger, you have to put more. Exactly. Exactly. That's the part that most healers don't know. Most healers say, I want to heal you. Let me dump massive amounts of energy on you so you'll be better. The idea is good. You forgot one little thing. If there's a blockage, you just shoved it deeper. Part 2. Why is it that the chakra got bigger when all we did was remove it? This is where I want you to listen carefully. That's why if you're still stuck with the wrong idea, and I'll just say it as it is, that your chakras only go in one direction, this part will never be fixed. So listen carefully. Your chakras go in both directions. It's like the right-hand rule in electronics. When there's a piece of wire, when current is going through that wire in this direction, direct current, not alternating current for the engineers there. When current's going this way, the magnetic fields go clockwise. So that's why when you go to an acupuncturist, when they turn the needle clockwise, that's because they want to put energy in. So if this is your chakra, when energy is going into your chakra, it goes clockwise. When old energy goes out, it goes counterclockwise. So the chakra has to go both directions. Clear? So when energy is stuck there, that means just imagine you have a propeller that can't spin because you have so much junk in the spindle area. Make sense? So if you go, I want to heal it, and you dump more energy into it, you just shoved it deeper into the, to the shaft. You go, whoa, but it's better for now. Until later on, boom, it comes back. Make sense? So what we're trying to do here is as my teacher says, follow simple instructions. Before you put energy in, remove it. Remove that block. And all we did there is just remove the block. Let's look at the anatomy of the chakra. If that block is right in the middle, and that's kind of slowing down the spin, if you remove all that, what happens to the spin? Now it's freer to spin. As it has more freedom to spin, each of these blades, if you will, or each of the petals of the flower is made of energy. Well, guess what? It now has more energy, so it lengthens, it widens. So when you feel your chakra, it gets bigger. So the secret to making your chakras bigger and healthier is cleaning. I know some of you go, what a concept. Yeah, exactly. Before I met my teacher, any idea I've had about healing was like, oh, you need healing, let me dump energy on you. After I met my teacher, goes, no. Oh, you have a problem? Where's my shovel? Get the idea? So this part, here's the plan. I know I've talked for so long already. We're going to do a few more deep cleaning of the basic chakra. All this guilt, all this, I don't deserve to be successful thoughts and emotions from the past. And don't go be finger pointing. Yeah, I know where this came from. This came from him, from her. If you do that, you're screwed. You know why? Because if you did that and you start blaming other people, yeah, they attacked me and this and that. Well, guess what? The fact that you connected negative emotion, negative thoughts to that, you shove it deeper. Because instead of saying, I don't want this anymore, you go, yeah, I can't help it because somebody else put it in. And you know what? Then the chakra doesn't get cleansed. Clear? You just have to treat it simply as energy. It's just energy. I created before. Get rid of it. And move on. Clear? So we'll do a few more sessions of cleansing. And then afterwards, we'll do one session of the screen technique that we did this morning, and also in the Prosperity Zen and Deep Emotional Transformation programs. That way you have at least a seed of how to do it on your own. And if you want to join these programs, again, the Prosperity Zen closes this weekend, okay, on Sunday. And the Deep Emotional Healing, you can sign up for it again if you haven't. And next Saturday, we're having a live session where we guide you through it. In addition to what you're doing with the program, we'll guide you live, and we'll answer some of your questions that people have been bringing up, okay? So that's that. Now, you guys ready? All right, make sure you have your salt water there. If you have a spray, if you don't worry about it. We'll do it with the cleaning afterwards, because that's the part, I know if you're new, it's like the concept, what? Clean my hands? Okay, ready? So visualize you're looking at your own back. All right, your basic chakra is here. Your picture does not have to be clear. All right, so go like this, like a surgeon. Imagine your hands filled with violet light, super bright violet light. And just know that your chakra is here. Just say my basic chakra or my prosperity center. And just form the intention. Any poverty consciousness, thoughts, emotions, energies, either self-generated or from someone else. Okay, just keep that in mind. It could be, as I said, feel like you ever don't have enough money, or even if you have money, you always spend it all, or you procrastinate, or you always sabotage your project. Any of those. Those are just what? Thought forms. Energy forms that either we created or somebody else created. Doesn't matter. They all come out. Okay? So, ready? Go. Just dig. Imagine the violet light. Move your hand. Don't be typing. You can't type and do this at the same time. Throw in salt water. You learn this more in pranic psychotherapy, but for now, just keep digging. Go in, throw in the salt water. Aim well, huh? Don't aim it at somebody's foot. Go in, dig, pull it all out, throw in the salt water. Keep going. Just make the violet light super duper bright. Okay? Keep going. They're just energies. No matter how bad that negative thought, negative emotion is, it's just energy. It's just a blob of stuff you want to get rid of. Dig it out. Come on, move your hand. Throw in the salt water. Okay, wash your hands if you know how. Or if you have a sprayer. If not, just imagine your violet light, one hand cleaning the other. Throw in the salt water. Yep, we go to a lot of salt water. A lot of salt. Just go find super cheap salt. I go to Home Depot Get a big old 50-pound bag of water softener salt for $4. Super cheap. Okay? Don't be sitting there, oh, does it have to be iodized? Does it have to be sea salt? Look, you just got to throw crap at it. What do you have to pay a lot of money for it? Right? Me Chinese, we like bargain. Okay, anyway, clean your hands. All right. Now, right, separate your hands. Try to feel, how's the overall energy level? You never feel like, yeah, it's a little more, kind of pushes my hand. Exactly. Now it's like going, right? Okay. Now, let's just do one quick screen technique. You've joined me before. We've done that to kind of consciously release some of these old thoughts and emotions we have. Okay, visualize a white screen in front of you, like a movie screen. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. Come on, stop typing. Practice. Now, on that movie screen, I want you to picture, visualize, like a movie, the times in your life that made you feel unworthy. Like, yeah, you know, everybody's making money or making more money than me or whatever it is. Just put it on the screen like a movie. Or there's a competition and you've never won one ever. Put it on the screen. Or growing up, you know, when the teacher was handing out prizes in kindergarten, everybody got it but you. Whatever, anything. Dig deep. We don't care. Dump it on the screen. What else? Just think of the times where things are going well. Looking back, you go, you know, by feeling envious, I sabotage the project. By feeling like I'm not adequate, I actually slow down the fulfillment of this particular goal or project. Whatever it is, but on the same line. Okay? Put it on the screen like a movie. Go. Don't filter. Just put it on the screen. It's somebody else's life anyway. After we're done, it's not yours. Okay, open your eyes. Put your hand like this. Imagine grabbing that screen from the wall or from the air. Pull it. Crumple it. Crumple it. Crumple, 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 crumple that screen. Now go like this. These thoughts, these emotions are not the I. They're not me. I created them, but they're not me. They're just my fabrications. They have no power over me now or ever. So be it. Cut and disconnect. Ready? Hold it like this, like holding a dark ball of cloud. Dump in the salt water. Say disintegrate, disintegrate, disintegrate. Cut and release. Say the words. Cut and release. All right. You just do it one more time for the sake of time, okay? Imagine your white screen again, like a movie screen. Okay, play out the same movie. I know, some of you going, it's not as clear. In fact, I kind of don't remember the details. Exactly. But force yourself. Like, yeah, it kind of have to do with, yeah, when I was this old or whatever. Whatever you can put on the screen, put it on the screen. That's very important. I'll explain all of this to you after. Okay? Even it's just a feeling. Oh, yeah, you know, I do have this feeling that every time, you know, I get into a group project and things are going well, I don't know why I always screw it up. Anyone that's been there, put that on the screen. Those little thoughts, even if it happened a long time ago, are seeds that could grow. Get rid of it. Keep picturing it on the screen. It's a safe space for you to dump all your crap. Go for it. All right, open your eyes, grab that screen, pull, come on, crumple it. Don't let anything escape, just crumple it, like this, okay? Now go like this. These are not I. I'm not any of these thoughts, these negative emotions, or any of these experiences. These are not me. These are just my fabrications, my thoughts, my emotions, but they're not the I. So it is. Cut, disconnect, move your hand, say cut, disconnect, dump it under the salt water, say disintegrate, 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 cut and release. Again, cut and release, throw in the salt water. Now wash your hands, if you have it. If not, clean your hand like this with violet light. Or green light, or no, either one works. The ones who took pranic healing and pranic psychotherapy, you remember, right? Green or violet works. All right. Now, in the Prosperity Zen, we go through that in depth for 9 weeks. 9 weeks. I think you're doing it for 9 weeks. The response we have, like, wow, it changed my life, work, money, and all that changed because my consciousness changed. So this is just a taste of it. But here's the beauty of the whole entire thing. You ready? Separate your hands. Come back in. Now try to feel, is there a difference in feeling or sensation? Because I know a lot of you are very sensitive to energy. How does it feel now? Yeah, it's bigger. Now here's another test. Ready? Observe your thoughts. Be honest to yourself. How do I feel about, pick any of those that you tried to get rid of earlier. Anybody notice, like, I kind of don't remember what it is, right? Or the ones you can, how is it? Let's say the unworthiness to be successful deal, because a lot of people have, how is it now? Some of you go, yeah, it's like, so dumb. Why do you even think that way? Exactly. The biggest part of here that people don't realize, the thoughts that control us are thoughts, emotions, energies that we can step away from, eliminate, and create new ones that we want. Yep. That is literally what the Lord Buddha said. You are what you think. The secret is to observe what you're thinking and move it or navigate in such a way that you're creating the thoughts that you want your life to be. That's it. So we did the cleansing, right? Now to help you guys out, because I know some of you are struggling a little bit, let me just give you an extra boost. No extra charge, don't worry. The crystal is just simply to focus the energy, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Separate your hands. Just say my basic chakra. All right, just get a feel of it. Now keep your hand there. Just literally keep your hand there. We'll do this in real time. Depends what you mean by real. Okay, ready? Just keep your hand there. Let's see if you feel anything. Your basic chakras are being cleansed wherever you are. Any negative thoughts, negative energies, any poverty consciousness are disintegrated, extracted, expelled to the near salt water to you. So it is. Disintegrate all negative thoughts, negative energies, any poverty consciousness energies in all your basic chakras, conscious or subconscious, are now dissolved, disintegrated, extracted, continuously being expelled to the near salt water of violet fire to you. Your basic chakras being cleansed. All negative thoughts, negative energies disintegrated, dissolve, flush out to the near salt water now. So be it. Disintegrate, all negative energies extracted, expelled. So be it. All negative energies, negative connections to your basic chakras are cut and into the salt water of violet fire to you. So be it. All right, how's that feel? If you're sensitive, you might have felt a throbbing. That's usually happens when we do this. It's not the first time we've done this, by the way. So we do it in class or online, doesn't matter. Energy's everywhere. Most people feel a throbbing. Any of you feel like it got bigger? Now, well, let's feed it some prosperity energy, shall we? You don't have to do anything. Again, I don't get anything out of this. This is just purely so you guys be more successful, more prosperous. That way, as you're more prosperous, you can manifest the goodness that's within you. Okay? So, just relax. Put your tongue on your palate. With the blessings of God, with the help of my teacher, Master Tokok Sui Mahaguru Jimeiling, with the blessings of all the great spiritual teachers, the blessings of the prosperity angels, and all the high beings, the source of all prosperity, the Supreme God, may basic chakra be blessed properly with abundance and prosperity. May He give you the wisdom to use it properly to be of service to others, and of course to improve your life too. So be it. Okay, just be receptive. Don't do anything. We'll add some special sauce. Okay, open your eyes. Try to feel your basic chakra. Observe your thoughts and emotions. How do you feel about money? How do you feel about your success, your future? Okay, most of you should feel more positive. Now, of course, the other chakras are affected, like the ajna could be, you have some lingering thought from there. The ajna, the throat, the front back solar plexus could have some. So what we'll do, just a few minutes, let's do a quick cleansing using Om. Just clean everything out. All right. All right. Tap your crown gently. Sit straight. Uncross leg, uncross arms. We talked about this last week. Press the center of your palms. Raise your hands. As we chant Om, just feel the divine energy like a waterfall coming down your crown, going through your entire body, all the impurities coming out of your hands and feet, and going into the salt water. Okay? Yeah, but the salt water's over here. I'm over here. Come on, energy is everywhere. It's just how you move the energy with your intention. Okay? My teacher calls it mind intent. Okay, put your hand like this. Okay, be aware of your crown. Just load up the crown with energy. How do you do it? Just put your attention there. Keep your tongue on your palate. Come on, you guys, be smart. Tap into the group energy. More of us that do this, more energy flows through us. Okay, repeat it. Go. Om. 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 Now keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth, or put it on the roof of your mouth after chanting. Just be still. Put your attention on your crown, your hands, and your feet. You don't have to visualize anything. Just put your attention there. As long as your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, the energy will move where it needs to. Just let stuff go. We'll help you out. Keep your hands where they are, and in your feet. Just let the energy flow through. Will intensify the waterfall of light flowing through you. May you be purified. May all these negative thoughts, negative energies that hinder you from being successful be dissolved, disintegrated, extracted, expelled to the near salt water or the violet fire to you. Now. Just be still. Keep your hands where they are. All right, let's open your palms like this. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui, Mahaguju Meling, to the angels of prosperity, thank you all for the blessings. Thank you for prosperity and abundance and the wisdom to use it properly in full faith. So be it. All right. How do you feel? Observe your thoughts and emotions. How do you feel about money, about your projects, about whatever it is you want to accomplish in life? Anybody feel lighter? Like, wow, it's just like blank. Now think of what you want to happen in your life. How's that feel? Do you feel like, yeah, I can see myself being successful? You know, for some of you, and I've seen this before in our class, some people are like, I could really see the possibility of this happening. Well, what's the difference between now and 20 minutes ago? Nothing happened outside. What changed was inside. You change your inner world, you manifest your external world. That's it. And how much did I charge you for this? Nothing. So if you still don't practice, you're the problem. You don't want to be successful. Okay? I cannot say it directly enough. You didn't pay for this. I didn't force you to come here. It's not it, so it's here for you. I'm not deleting it. It's staying online. Only thing you need to do is what? Press play. Practice. Okay? I know. Why are you sound so exasperated? Because it's like, here. You want you to be successful. Okay? Now, for some of you who are new, you go, yeah, we did it now, but I want to do it later. How effective is it if I do it with a recording? Okay, let me give you that quantum mechanics spiel again. We live in a three-dimensional world, right? Height, length, width. That's three dimensions. Fourth dimension is time. Now, that super smart dude, Einstein, put the two together. It's called space-time. In other words, as you're moving through space, you will consume time. Make sense? So that space-time is four dimensions. Now, when you're in your spiritual state is beyond height, width, length, and time. That's why when you're in deep, deep meditation, your perception of time is very different than the daily life. In fact, in the physical world, most of you know this, time moves slower, closer to the surface of the earth, and faster away from the earth. They call that time dilation. And all our satellites have already been calibrated to make up for that difference. I know, is that weird? Before Einstein came along, we thought time was absolute. No, it's not. Time slows down outside mass. Anyway, let's not go into that. So here's what happens. So when you're doing deep meditation, you're basically changing from the fourth dimension, space-time, and beyond. So at that time of deep, deep stillness, you actually beyond the four dimensions. At that point, prana, or life force, starts to become more real for you, and you start to realize we're swimming in this ginormous ocean of life force and energy with different frequencies. However, science just calls it the Higgs field or quantum flux field, whatever field. Make sense? Now, why am I telling you about this? Because even though right now we're doing it live, like this time you're doing it with me, once this thing is over, even the recording, it's just like in this infinite space-time or beyond it, that data is already stored in the fabric of that field. So as soon as you press play again, an hour from now, 2 years from now, whatever, you press play and you tune into it, essentially what you just did, you transcended space and time and you tune into that energy, so it's happening to you as if we're doing it right now. I hope I geek you out. Okay? That's why yogis, in deep, deep meditation, they could tell you what could possibly happen in the future. And some of you, in deep, deep meditation, what happens? It's almost you got transported to a certain time in your life. Because consciousness goes beyond the 4 dimensions. See, that 4 dimensions, according to Einstein, are still limited by one thing: the speed of light. E is equal to mc squared. C is the constant. Anywhere in the universe physically, the light is constant. In the 4-dimensional world, not beyond it. I think I'm weirding you out. Okay, anyway, I'll shut up. All right, enough. I think that's too much for you guys already. So, yeah, I think I've done my job. I wish all of you a fantastic weekend, and we're back again Monday morning. Monday morning, Anchor Light. And again, just for the ones who still want to sign up for the Prosperity Zen, we took what we did earlier times 9 and times 7, and much deeper for the different poverty consciousness, thoughts, and energy we could have. That closes this Sunday, okay, 2 days from now. And deep emotional healing, if you sign up for it, if you want to, next Saturday we're having the live session where we'll answer your questions. We'll also do not only deep dive in knowledge, but we'll go deeper in excavating a lot of these negative emotions that we've generated in this lifetime or before, to help you expand your consciousness, and the most important part of that, to expand your ability to serve others. Okay? So all of this stuff, go to mastercode.org. And then the Panic Feng Shui and the self-healing class are also there. That's free. The introductory one is free. It's there. So just go to it. Instead of giving you 1,000 different websites, we just go to mastercode.org. Everything's there. All right. And make sure after we're done, you go to the sink, take some salt, salt. Just wash your hands like this. Just flush it out. And dump your saltwater bucket down the toilet. Or not the whole bucket, just the contents. And don't use that bucket for anything else other than tossing dirty energy. Okay, anyway, if you've taken pranic healing, you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of which, wherever you are, look for your nearest pranic healing center. Try to take the pranic healing classes. If not, there's a pranic self-healing class that's happening next week, taught by Chandan Paramswara, in preparation for the Panic Feng Shui a few weeks from now that I'm personally teaching online. All right, namaste everyone. You all take care, and I wish you much happiness, joy, prosperity, success, and whatever your heart desires. Take good care. Namaste. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. God bless.